Hi everyone, I welcome you all to our tech podcast series. And today I am Savi, your podcaster of the day, and we are yet again back with amazing people from the industry. Now you would be thinking, who's the amazing and the great guest of the day? For the today's podcast, we have an amazing entrepreneur. To be precise, we have Peeush Bajpai, who is the CEO and founder of SpringPeople. To know when it comes to the company and about Piyush, he is a business leader with over 2 decades of work experience in the IT industry, and the way he is handling things is really super amazing. So, without wasting much time, I would be very happy to welcome Piyush and would love to know how you are doing.
Great. Thank you very much, Avi. How's everything with you?
It's really amazing. Before starting up with the questions and so many amazing things, would love to know that how you started your journey and would love to know your pointers that how it is being for you in the present time.
It's been a great journey. It's been a fabulous journey. We started back in 2009. And I mean, of course, I'm a 98 pass out IIT was in the technology field, consulting and doing well, settled in the UK. And this amazing opportunity presented itself where I could have brought in some authentic consulting and training from some of the technology leaders at that point in time. A company called Spring Source, which was the company behind the biggest Java framework in the world, Spring Framework, Rod Johnson's company. They brought in this opportunity where I could bring in their authentic training and consulting to India. So that's where this whole journey started, and it's been a great journey so far. I mean, we all know India is a home to huge and very successful and fast-growing IT industry, right? And back in 2009, if I cast my mind back, I see that there was huge lack of revenues available to the IT companies for organizing truly corporate trainings, which I experienced in the Western world. And I wanted to bring that professional attitude to training, which means high quality content delivered by real subject matter experts on a platform which is geared to bring together all the features, functionality that the learners would need to effectively learn what's taught, apply it to the real use cases, and be production ready. So that was the mantra, and that's how we started Spring People. That's what we've been trying to do by partnering with a lot of OEMs like Azure. Microsoft Azure definitely is being one of the cloud leaders, along with other cloud leaders in the space, and so many more. So we are addressing that gap of professionally, thorough training organized for the employees of different organizations, and that's going very well. So yeah, I mean, it's been great. We've seen phenomenal growth, and I'm pleased to say that we are growing even more rapidly post pandemic.
That's actually great to hear, and especially whenever I have a conversation with an entrepreneur and they say that we are having some good growth after pandemic, it makes me feel so good because things have been so up and down during that period.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we all know pandemic was tough. It was tough on pretty much every aspect of life. But like anything, there were losers, there were winners as well. People who saw the challenge and turned it into an opportunity were the ones who came out smiling from it. Of course, bruised but smiling. And I feel good about us that we managed to take on the challenge. We kind of were in a good position that we were kind of quasi ready already for it. We were moving in that direction. So we took it in the stride, and we came out even stronger than before. And in the process, when I say we, I'm looking at not just as an organization, but our customers, clients, partners, everyone. We came out very well because the whole world adopted to this new way of working where remote was the norm. And it was not a challenge, it was not an obstacle, but people looking at, okay, now that we are working remote or now that we are learning remotely, how can we make it even better than what it was when everyone was shut in a class for 4 days or 5 days? So I'm glad that the word seems to be have moved quite a few steps ahead instead of going back.
That was so amazing and delightful to hear that. Now, when it comes to building a company from the scratch, it's so difficult. But there's one thing which helps you, that is technology. So, with that note, I would love to understand that what is the role of technology and online learning in the upskilling of this modern workforce for you?
Right, and very true. Technology is playing a crucial role. I mean, we are living in IT era. IT is touching all facets of life, industry, everyone. So if you think back, I mean, when we used to think of training in old days, it was the picture was a teacher or instructor standing in a classroom full of participants and delivering the training. That was, I mean, that was old anyways. And I would say for the last 10 years, a tech space had been rapidly moving into taking advantage of the advances in technology as well as internet, that people could stream videos, for example, and watch those video based courses, or could get on a VILT class where someone is like us, we are talking now, being in two different positions, those kind of things. So that was already in play. What pandemic did was acted as a catalyst and just pushed it forward. Now, that's one side of things, but equally the other side of things is over the years, the avenues to learn have increased tremendously. People are learning on the go all the time. If you ask the Gen Zs or even before that Gen Ys, nobody really likes the thought of sitting in an 8 hour everyday course for 5 days, or forget about a month. Nobody would even imagine that. People want to learn on the go, right? People want to learn whichever way works best for them. For some, it's sitting with the instructor and asking the questions and clarifying and moving on. For others, it's a book. Some, it's the podcast like this. For others, it could be a webinar. There's so many ways. So learning is happening all the time, all the place, and it needs to be brought together. If you look from industry's point of view, managers' point of view, our challenge would be, okay, I know these guys are learning, but how do I ensure my team is all on the same level? If I want to put them on a project, if I want to give them an assignment, I can be sure that they're ready. They have got all the tools and knowledge that they can be. So I need to somehow being able to assess it, and that's where technology plays a crucial role. So what we are doing is, of course, we moved from that classroom model very quickly to online model because that's what we had already started doing, and we are doing that. Now, blended learning is becoming the way forward. Blended learning and micro learning combined together, and that's what we are doing. So, of course, blended learning, which means we are making a combination of all kind of avenues. When we design a program for an organization or a cohort within an organization, it's going to take advantage of all the sources. Some is going to be standard courses where perhaps an instructor would come and give some mentoring. There'll be some video-based content, self-paced content. There'll be some assessments through the process whereby if they have learned things from other sources, we don't need to force them, attend all the, content and go through all the content or attend all the session. They can prove that okay, I take the test. It's an online proctor test through our platform, and we can see okay, they stand at this level, so they can move on from there to the next one. If there's some smart people and they want to consume some additional material, we provide that in the track itself. So there's supplementary tracks built in where they can go and consume some more content, watch some more videos, etc., and take some more additional lines of related to that particular curriculum. So they can take additional assignments, they can pick up an additional topic, they can do some additional labs, those kind of things. So then, and micro learning, because again, we want to not force everyone to go through everything. What we would give is our digital learning platform has a mechanism where going through those series of assessments, we can see people where they stand, where they have the knowledge and where they don't have the knowledge, and accordingly, everyone gets a tailored path. Overall, it's the same curriculum, same content. Everyone has to come to the same level, but some are lacking over here, some are lacking in a different place. So we would give them tailored learning paths, tailored content, and bring them all to the same level. Finish it off by everyone trying out their hands in experiential learning by assignments, projects, etc., and then assessing them to give them some kind of scoring and saying okay, you know it, you've proven it, everyone is the same level. So those are the keywords I would think: blended approach, micro learning, which is tailored. So technology is massively playing a big role in getting the right education and in the right way, where people are going to be engaged and learn, rather than, oh, my organization has put me in this thing, you have to go through it.
That was really great, and I really loved it. When I was just talking about these things, for you, how remote work has changed the way of organizations' approach towards the workforce development, and from your point of view, would love to know that how Spring People is adapting to this change.
Both as an organization as well as a vendor who's providing these things, I think this kind of, remote working has become the norm, and we were anyways comfortable with it, and now we are taking advantage of it. So first is the flexibility. I mean, if you look at today's IT workforce, specifically, if I talk about it, they're not bound by that 9 to 6 kind of environment. They don't need to be forced into those slots of, you've got to learn this between 2 and 5 in the afternoon, those kind of things. So remote working, which means that we can provide them, as I said, those blended learning content and micro learning content for them to consume at their own pace, but within a time frame. So I'll give you an example. Those learning, if it's self-paced, anyways, they consume it at their own pace. They get cloud labs access, which is 24 by 7. Someone wants to do it at 2 a.m. in the morning, or should we call it late night, they can do that. They can, whenever they're ready or they feel they're ready, they can take those assessments to say, okay, we have covered it. But there is a boundary, as in, okay, you need to complete this within, say, 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever. So they need to cover that material no matter what time of the day they do that. And whichever mode works best for them, they do that. But they have to cover that within the first week, this set of work, and second week, the next set of work. So that way, we, from management point of view, we know that the cohort, my team, is going to be ready within those couple of weeks or 4 weeks time, whatever I've allocated. From an individual's point of view, who's learning, they are comfortable that they can carry on with the flexibility that they have. When they want to do the work, when they're ready and they want to learn, they can do that. They schedule that. The only piece sometimes which might be is, okay, there are a couple of mentoring sessions, so they'll come in for those 2 hours which are scheduled. Okay, yes. But beyond that, there's complete flexibility. So in that sense, we are able to provide that service which fits in very well with today's culture of working from home, remote working, and flexible working. Tag on to that the fact, assessments. Good old days, assessments used to be, sit in a invigilation hall, and you write an exam. Or even today, I mean, prometric tests and PSNV and all, that's become passe now. Nobody wants to go drive all the way to the test center, schedule that, book it, and sit over there and do that. Online proctored tests are the norm nowadays. That's expected, and we provide that facility. So people can, at their home, in their comfort, whenever they're ready, they can start that. They are fully proctored in online sense, that there's no cheating involved. So management is happy as well that it is truly that guy, in all honesty, doing it. Well, the individual has got the flexibility. So providing all those mechanisms, those means, those tools to the individuals helps. And within the organization, of course, we follow the same mantra, that we are providing the flexibility to our guys, both in terms of doing their job, working with the clients, working with the partners, or working among each other in a flexible mode. The office is open; they can come in. There are a couple of days we call people in. Otherwise, we haven't said that they need to be every day in, and we're supporting them in whichever way they can happily do what they need to do from wherever they are. Ultimately, outcomes is what matters.
That's so true. Like, I really love the way you said, like, outcomes do matter, and the whole procedure was really great to understand that. Now, let's talk about the trends and the innovations shaping the future of education and technology. Right now, there are so many amazing technologies which are coming into picture. Everyone is talking about ChatGPT, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence, and so many other things. So, according to you, what are your favorite trends which are going on?
Phew, trends are, I mean, you named a few buzzwords. Those are the trends, and those are the buzzwords. I mean, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, DevOps, blockchain, cryptocurrencies. Security is a big, big one. So there are a lot of things happening. I suppose in some senses it's a curse as well. That if I look from an individual's point of view, an IT professional's point of view, first of all, there's so many avenues. Which one do I follow? And where do I, pick up the right skills? What makes me, stand in the best stride possible to grab those opportunities which are out there? Because if I go on Google and search for it, phew, there's so much information available, plethora. So the way I put it, this is, keep it simple. Of course, you have to. Everyone would decide for themselves depending on what career path they want to choose or which career path they already are on, as to which direction to go. There's some hot ones, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all. So people can decide. But beyond that, I think to get the best opportunities possible, people need to do something which will help them stand out of the crowd, right? And the easiest way to do that is having the right credentials. I mean, if you're talking about cloud computing, you want to have the right certifications coming from the vendor behind those technologies. If you are a Microsoft person, like Azure community, you want Microsoft Azure's official certification to be on your resume, be on your LinkedIn profile, so that prospective employees know, okay, what I can expect from this guy. These are the people who I want. It becomes a lot easier. Same for, for example, if someone wants to pursue a career in SAP, you want to have the right certification, the official certification, not ones given by anyone and everyone. So obviously learning the technology and its experiential way, because everyone expects people to come in and hit the ground running now. Gone are the days when organization will hire someone and put a 2 month mentoring program for them to be spoon fed and directed and guided, and then be production ready. People want, I hire this person with the right knowledge and they'll come and hit the ground running. So of course, learn it in an experiential way, and to be able to get those opportunities, get the right certifications. Go for training and certification which is authentic. And to be honest, in this world where there's so much information out there, technology is becoming more and more complex. There's so many ways of doing the same thing. Nothing better than coming right from the people who created the technology. I mean, if someone wants to learn Azure and the best solution architecture to put in Azure, who best than Microsoft themselves, or Microsoft Azure experts from Microsoft who have designed that, to learn from them, rather than someone who learned it and in their own way, and they've got their own way of doing it, and that's what they're teaching everyone. Don't do that. Learn it from coming from the people who created the technology. That's the right way. If you want to learn Android programming, go for people who have designed the Android technology, or who are working on those Android open source projects. They are the ones who have got the real insights. If they design a curriculum, if they give you some guidance, that's probably the best. Easiest, go for authentic official thing, rather than gray market, as we say.
That's so true. Like, but don't you think that finding the authentication is also a task right now? If I talk about, like, let's talk about DevOps. Okay, right now we have thousands and thousands of like resources to learn about DevOps. But like, what are your views in understanding and finding the authentic resource? Because I have come across with so many people who are beginners and they come to me and say, I'm not able to find the best one. So, what are your views on that?
You are absolutely right. I mean, I can sympathize people with information overload. Some areas are easy. For example, if you want, I keep, because this is Azure community we are referring to, I keep going back to that. Some are easy. For example, if someone wants to learn Azure and related technologies, you know where to go. You know Microsoft Azure. So their courses, their certifications is easy, right? So would be the case with AWS or some of the other fields. Talk about DevOps, cybersecurity. Well, there isn't really any one company or one organization which is owning the technology or driving the technology. So it can become difficult. And the easiest way is going to be, look at who are the leading, either the training providers or consulting providers, and look at their guidance. For example, DevOps you mentioned, right? So this people cert Excelos, the guys behind the well-known ITIL framework, they provide those trainings. Now they have come with their own a curriculum and own certification route on DevOps. That's a good one. Without even knowing anything, you as an individual can be certain that, okay, coming from a well-reputed organization which has got tens of years of experience doing this IT standards, IT, one of the biggest frameworks in information technology area. If they're coming with DevOps, it must be good, right? So you can test it out, and that's the way to go. There's another one which is equally big. So I would say always go for ones which stand out from the crowd, which have got some reputation, which have got some credentials, because that's a good place to start. Doesn't mean that you blindly go after them, but that's a good place to start. You look at that, evaluate it for yourself, and then decide, okay, this fits my needs or not. Because it's not just learning the technology. If you don't get those opportunities, then what's the point of it? Perhaps if you put a DevOps certification from PeopleCert on your resume, a lot more employers would recognize that, because employers are in the same boat. They want to decide which candidates. Everyone is saying, "Okay, I'm DevOps certified from here, there, where." So how do they decide? They also go the same thing, right? They would go after the most reputed brand and look at, okay, these guys, okay, I can at least use that as a starting point. They'll still interview you, of course, they'll still test you, but that's a good starting point. You will pass the smoke test, the filter test. You will come through the funnel and at least get that opportunity to present yourself in front of a prospective employer.
That was very insightful and great, I would say. And as we are talking about these programs and a lot of things, we'd love to know what is the role of partnerships and collaborations in delivering these effective corporate trainings when it comes to these programs and a lot of stuff. Because ultimately, people are talking that collaboration is the must and it's the first thing to do. So, what are your takes on this?
Good question. Very good question. I keep harping on about going after the most reputed brand, the source of the technology, etc. But if I take it back the other way around, Microsoft, for example, perhaps would never have the means to reach out to all those individuals and cater to them individually, give them tailored learning paths, tailored learning experience. So that's where partnerships become very, very crucial. When you're looking for Microsoft course, you wouldn't be able to get it directly from Microsoft, or apart from some of the generic stuff that they've published for everyone. If you want, and especially for organizations, even for individuals, what you need to find is an authentic partner of Microsoft, of AWS, of Red Hat, of CompTIA, whosoever, right? MuleSoft, those ones, who brings all that knowledge, all that authentic stuff locally to you and provides a local support. So they are the ones. I mean, we fortunately do same thing. So I can talk from experience that whether I'm serving my clients, i.e., corporates or individuals, we are able to give them the same authentic, training, certification, etc., coming from the source, i.e., the parent company, Microsoft, SAP, whatever, but with a local value add. If they need mentoring to go with it, great, we can provide that. If a cohort or a set of individuals is looking for some certification practice because they're not feeling confident that they are ready to take the certification, hey, we can provide that tailored support to them, right? It means that yes, there's some labs that you get with the training, 5 hours labs or whatever, but perhaps you don't feel that that's sufficient. You need a lot more practice. We can provide that. So finding the right partner, an authentic partner who can bring those local services to the individuals or the organization is crucial to getting that information, to getting those services delivered locally where people can consume it and really benefit from it. So I'll tell you what, there was some part which I'd already talked about, the importance of partnerships in the sense that those big corporations who are working hard to produce that authentic knowledge, the deep insights, the detailed content for people to consume. But they're addressing the scale challenge to an extent as well by publishing it, like Microsoft is publishing it for free for everyone to consume through Microsoft Learn. But to be able to give it that individual touch, tailored approach to each individual or to each organization, that can only happen through a local partner who brings in that value added services. provide that, individual training paths, tailored training paths for cohorts or individuals, provide additional information or additional support that people need, be it additional lab practice, be it some mentoring things, be it some perhaps a little bit practice on certification test, preparation for that, etc., etc., etc. So finding the right partner for the technology vendor that you're looking for, be it Microsoft, SAP, Red Hat, anyone, that's important. So that, okay, you definitely get the right content coming from the source, the people who have created the technology in the best possible manner, but being tailored and adopted to you as an individual or you as an organization. I mean, Microsoft Azure, for example, we talk about solution design, and there'll be courses and certification related to architecting solutions on Azure. Now, we all understand that those solutions are going to be very different. Those architectures are perhaps going to be very different for a banking corporation, to a retail, to a manufacturing, to some other industry. Given that context to it is important, and a local partner can do that, that collaboration is very beneficial, so that people get the content but not in a generic fashion. They get it in the way that they can consume, they can learn and apply it to the job that they have in hand.
That was really amazing and insightful at the same time. Now, before concluding this whole podcast, this is my question from your side, that how have you grown this company from zero to a multi-million dollar? Now, this is a thing that I have been looking up to, that Spring People is doing some great work in the industry. So I'd love to know how you're making it possible over these like past years, and what are your future plans?
Again, a very good question, flattering question. I'm grateful that we've done so well, and I'm grateful to my employees, to my customers, to my partners for being able to do that. I think it all boils down to a very simple mantra: customer delight. What all organizations like ourselves have to learn is that it's the customer's journey that we have to go on, not our journey. I mean, I may have great plans, I may have the greatest of the products and services, but if that's not what my client needs, that's not what the individual who's come to me needs, there's no point. I could have the best thing possible, but that's not what they need. So we go on the customer journey. That's our mantra. We go for the customer delight. And what that has done for us is, way back from 2009 when we started, when we had a few clients, we've grown them and we've kept them. Those clients like us. They want to work with us because they like our approach. They see that every time they engage with us, which could be even every day, and some of them actually give us requirements every day. Each requirement is still taken the same seriousness, and we put in the effort to make it as successful as the one before. We've got processes, systems, individuals who are working hard in collaboration through a process driven approach, through a well oiled engine, to deliver that customer delight every time, every time. And that's why we keep adding customers, we don't lose customers. And that has over time just added on and brought us to this level where we are quite successful. And I suppose the second thing is remembering the fact that having just one piece, one arrow in your bow is not sufficient. Everyone is looking for an end-to-end, complete journey. When an individual comes to learn from you, they're not looking, okay, I'll get ILT training from you, but I'll have to go for blended training. Oh, sorry, for self-learning from Udemy, and I'll have to go to another vendor or perhaps install everything on my local machine for labs, and then I need to go and buy certification voucher from someone else, and then I need to do a project from some other company. It's just too much. Everyone wants everything end-to-end delivered together. And that's what we try to do. We complete the training ecosystem, that from the very beginning, we'll engage with that individual or with that organization, understand what they want, design a full program all the way to the end, right? Which will cater to that organization's need. They haven't, when an organization is looking for training, they're not looking for training, they're looking for the talent to be groomed so that they're production ready. So we take them from where they are, take them on a journey, get them production ready. We solve that problem. If I'm talking about individuals, individual doesn't come just for training. I mean, of course, some are looking for the knowledge enhancement, great, but some are the end objective is, can I get that next opportunity in my career, right? So for them, we've got another program. We've got hire, train, deploy program, where we'll start them on a journey where it starts with, okay, let's assess you where you stand, and do you have the capability to be hired for the job that you're looking for? And if you have, you pass those tests coming from those companies, you get a letter of intent, you get a job offer straight away, subject to the condition that, okay, you prove that you've got this knowledge at the end of this duration. So you get the offer first, you get hired first, then you go on the training journey, you do the training, you do the certification, and then get deployed with the company. So again, end to end for an individual, that was the goal. I might have been a QA person, a tester, who's looking to move into DevOps or cloud computing engineer role. Or I may be a Python developer. I want to upgrade myself to a machine learning developer or a data scientist. So let me start you on that journey, not just by saying, okay, come do this training, do this certification, and then go hunt for a job and find where you can get it. Let's find the right opportunities for you. Let's get you evaluated for that, and potentially get you an offer for that as well, subject to the condition that you would fulfill those requirements by completing those training and certification that are required, that are must for that job. And then we'll place you. Well, you're already placed, but we'll just simply get you deployed. We'll complete the. So it's end-to-end full ecosystem that we provide. So those two things, I think, doing the job great for the customers, go for the customer delight every time, and solving the full problem end to end is the key to success. And I'm glad to say that that mantra is working for us, and touch wood, it'll carry on working. So onward and upwards.
That's really great to hear that, and I really loved your mantra on the personal level. I really loved it. Thanks a lot, Piyush, for sharing such an amazing insights with us, and it was really great to have you today for this podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff, and it was really great. So I have also dropped Piyush socials in the description below. You can have a look into it. Don't forget to connect with him, and it you would surely be having really amazing guidance from his side. With that note, thank you so much, Piyush, for joining in today for this podcast.
Thank you, Shavi. Thank you for inviting me and listening to me.
Thanks a lot, and for the listeners, stay tuned for our such amazing podcast. Till then, see you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.